Welcome back. And the news says infected Nigerians will be treated in China. Federal government. The federal government has said that Nigerians infected by the coronavirus would not be evacuated to the country, adding that they would receive treatment in their own country of residence. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the positive cases could not wait till they were repatriated home before starting the treatment, noting that it would be dangerous to host their community. The MFA spokesman, Mr. Ferdinand Nwoye, said this on Friday in response to questions from our correspondent in Abuja on the planned evacuation of over 2,000 Nigerians abroad, some of whom have tested positive for COVID-19. Responding to queries on the process for the evacuation, Nwoye said those who tested positive would be receiving treatment in China. Are they going to wait till they are evacuated? Did they know these places when did they know when the evacuation would take place? The best option is to submit themselves to the local authorities and receive treatment because the evacuation would be by countries and in batches. Staying there without treatment is even dangerous to host the community. Meanwhile, the number of Nigerians who tested positive for the coronavirus in Guangzhou, the capital of Guangdong province in China, has risen to 74. Our correspondent gathered on Thursday that two more persons returned positive on Friday, increasing the number to 74 from the 72 reported on Wednesday. It was learned that the Guangzhou municipal authorities had informed the Nigerian consulate about the latest development. Also, findings indicate that many Nigerians awaiting evacuation in Guangzhou traveled to the city on business and have exhausted their funds after they were put in quarantine in hotels by the government. Some of them complained that they were kept in luxury hotels and made to pay exorbitant charges. The compulsory quarantine followed a decision by the Guangdong province to put all foreign visitors from abroad on 2-week isolation on arrival on Guangzhou. It was gathered that the other Nigerians who had been living in the city without valid visas and permits were also agitating for evacuation by the federal government, as it would be difficult for them to leave China otherwise. Findings show that the reported racial hatred and maltreatment of Nigerians in Guangzhou began when 5 Nigerians who allegedly tested positive for COVID-19 broke quarantine and frequently frequented an African restaurant where they infected its owner, who then passed the virus on to her 8-year-old daughter. Obviously, Nigerians had their comments to say. Somebody says, supported them, let them be treated in China. The mistake Americans made by evacuating their citizens, he ended up infecting his daughter. Very annoying. Someone said, the leopard will always show its stripes, and we will always exhibit our indiscipline everywhere we go. Imagine some of them escaping from quarantine only to go and infect others. Some are blaming the government. What do you want the government to do? Fly to the infected people? Fly the infected people with healthy people in the same plane? No way. They'll be treated in China. I think they have to be treated in China. That's the best and logical thing to do. Obviously, I think they would have to get special treatment, which the government will have to pay for, where they would get healthcare to be checked upon and a place for them to quarantine. Someone says, why do we tend to make our country useless at all? We have good medical personnel. I mean, that is not really totally true. Someone says, yes, they should remain there in China. I support that decision. It's just the best logical decision at the end of the day, because it's an extra cost trying to fly people from one country to another, and that money could be spent on renting a place that they'll stay the for the meantime, and also getting them special treatment, as in you pay for their hospital bills and they have to be regularly checked. That's just the best thing that they can do, because bringing them to Nigeria is just too much transferring, which would just make everything very complicated. Someone says, what of if these Nigerians and Africans are not infected and China make it seem so in order to defend themselves for racism against blacks? Well, at the end of the day, it didn't originate from Africa, and Africa has the lowest rate in the world. So being racist towards another person is basically trying to deflect the fact that you're annoyed and obviously you're frustrated, so you deflect it on black people, which obviously is not validated at all. Like, black people should not be the demographic that literally accept and take all your venting, and you can throw your garbage at them. If you're sad, go and meet a therapist and sort out your problems. You can't be giving. Why would black people be a target for all your disgust and everything? So that's just not validated as well. Someone says the Nigerian government should ascertain those infected by going to their doctors to test them and separately bring them home those who are not affected. I mean, it's just an extra cost to start flying people here and there. It would be too much. Someone says anyone infected with coronavirus can fly out, so that the country, so that life can continue living. God bless Nigeria. Put what you think in the comment section below. Do you feel like our Nigerians or Africans in China should remain there, or they should be brought back for treatment? Put what you think in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.